I'm Clifford II, and welcome to another episode of Impacting Lives That Impact the World. Hello and welcome to the show. I have the pleasure of sitting down with one of the top radio personalities in public radio in New York City. This is a gentleman who I've been knowing for a while, and he's all about positivity. If you want to hear a radio show that can show you and teach you and put you in the loop of what it means to have a positive mental attitude, what it means to be successful, this is the person that you want to listen to. He comes on Friday mornings now, and he's also on Sunday mornings. So he's definitely somebody you want to hear, somebody who I love to speak to, someone who I love to be around, Mr. Ricky Young. Hey, Ricky, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, thank you. Hey, welcome to the show, buddy. So, Rick, listen, I've been knowing you for a long time, and let's tell the audience exactly how did you start getting into, how did you get into radio? Because this was very interesting that you got into radio, and how did that all come about? And then why did you choose to get into positive lessons?
Well, I started studying personal development, success principles, universal success principles in 1993 when I saw Les Brown on TV, on public television. Mm-hmm. He said, you got to be hungry. Go after your dream. Think about your dream night and day. He said, if you fall down, try to lay on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. I said, And from there, it just opened up a whole world, because after that, I found out about Zig Ziglar and Norman Vincent Peale. Mm-hmm. I started studying them, and then just opened up a whole world for me. You know, funny thing is, as a student in school, I didn't do that well. Okay. But now, as a man, here I am hanging out in Barnes and Nobles for hours and hours. I was like a child in a toy factory. Mm. So, with that, studying those principles, it changed my consciousness. One day I was home. I happened to cut on the radio on Sunday afternoon, and Brother Leroy, King Leroy, Leroy the Great, they call him Brother Leroy. I call him all the other wonderful things. Okay. So I'm listening to him, and they were doing a fundraiser. They said, if you pay a certain amount of money, you could come and produce a show. A show. So I heard that. I was like, it's something about the word produce that sounded intriguing. I was like, produce a show. And I just happened to have some money. Just happened to have some money. It wasn't a lot, but it was, it was a little bit. And I said, I called, and Sin K answered the phone, who works with Brother Lee. He said, okay. I said, I want to do it. He said, okay. He sounded happy that I called. Like, right. Okay, so I came, got dressed, jumped in the cab, came up here, and I met King Leroy in the lobby. He had a bag of books that he gave me. I gave him a book also. We exchanged, I gave him a book. And so that was it. Then he called me and told me when to come in. It was on the Friday evening. And they were going to train me. And that's how it started. Okay. And they started training me on Fridays to produce a show.
Now, why did you choose to name your show What's in Your Hand?
Well, they asked me, they said, you have to come up with a name for your segment. Mm-hmm. I was like, a name. And I remember watching Like It Is, Gil Noble, one Sunday. A lot of good things happened on Sunday. Yes. And listening to the show, he did a special on Adam Clayton Powell Jr., What's in Your Hand? And that speech just captivated me. And that's the first thing that came to my mind. I said, what's in your hand? They said, oh, I like that. And that was it. It just stuck, and it just began to grow and grow and grow. Other people are using it now, and one of the ladies did a Kwanzaa program, and she called it "What's in Your Hand." Right. Inspired from listening to the show.
Now I noticed that when you do your radio show, you used to ask your guests, you ask them that one question, and that one question would pertain to the name of your show, "What's in Your Hand?" So when you ask that question, what are you looking for them to respond to when you ask that question?
Well, it's funny because you could ask 100 people the same question and you get 100 different answers. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of getting their perspective, okay, and how it affects them. Okay. or how it, what does that mean to them? So I always get different answers, and always great answers.
Ricky, what's in your hand?
Well, when I say what's in your hand, what that mean? What does it mean to me is using your God-given talent, using what you came here with. See, there are people crying, complaining about the economy, and what's in your hand? What did you come here with? What can you do? What talents, abilities, gifts, and skills do you have? I call it your tags. What do you have? What can you do? People don't understand that you can create your own job. There's opportunities all around us. There's opportunities within us. We just have to discover what that is. And if you think you're standing on the corner selling drugs, no. That's not why you came here. I'm going to be a drug seller. I'm going to be a criminal. That's not why you came to this planet. You might choose to do that, but that's not what's in your hand.
Now you have a very interesting, life, because prior to you getting into radio and communications and success, you actually was a boxer. You actually used to be in the ring, and you don't find too many former boxers who go into the communications field unless they're communicating about boxing. But you chose to go a whole different route. So tell us about your life, prior to getting into this and your boxing and your training.
It's funny. I don't think I really chose to go in this direction. I was just guided in this direction. Okay. I was a boxer, amateur boxer, became a professional, had 22 professional matches. I beat 2 world champions, traveled to different countries, boxed Spain, Ireland, England. So all that was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. I kind of grew up in the boxing world and find out a little bit about who I was. Stepping in that ring is a major challenge. Stepping in that ring and then coming out okay. Because I've seen guys that didn't have that many fights much less than I've had, and come out banged up. Don't know where they're going or coming. So boxing is a serious sport. And I was blessed. I had a great teacher. His name was Bob McQuiller. And one of the things that he stressed in boxing is defense. He didn't call it defense, he called it defense. He was an artist. So he was an artist in the ring and an artist as a teacher. One of the things that Bob, that happened with Bob as a boxer, he killed a man in the ring and then retired right on the spot. He was a man of character, he says, because what he did to that fighter, he said it was an accident. But he said that if he got into another match and he got into a jam and he did that again, he felt it would be murder. So he retired on the spot. He never had a regret and started teaching. He said, but I don't teach what I did in the ring that night. I had a 22 match, I won 18. Beat 2 world champions. It was a great career. I met a lot of people, got a lot of publicity, being on television, being interviewed. So I kind of grew up in boxing.